Hard is Earthring Farseer, then he might be able to do it, but nope. Phone tap is going to fall. Terrence M puts himself on the board, ties it up 1-1 with that Freeze Mage win.
Yeah, not too big of a surprise. I mean, Freeze Mage has traditionally been a pretty good matchup against Rogue. One of the ones you're looking for. I think happy to get not to line it up versus the Hunter and have Zoo and this Dragon Warrior to try to fend off this Hunter build. So we'll see where he goes from there. But I'm still curious to see how Phone Tap has built this. I personally myself have been trying to find the right Hunter build to actually play with. I'm not too comfortable with any of the ones I've played so far. Maybe he's brought something that can kind of perk my ears up and make me pay attention.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to see two decks that we've seen so far this series. Terrence does find the Fiery War Axe. So decent curve this time around. Decent starting hand. Got a nice curve there. Phone tap throwing out the Rogue once again. See if we can find a victory. A lot of times this matchup comes down to whether or not the Dragon Temple Warrior can have minions stick in the early game. Whether they can apply enough pressure to burn him out before that Gadgetzan Auctioneer is going to come down. So Fairy Dragon helps a lot with that, especially when the Rogue's not on the coin. It's very tough to deal with. You can't backstab it. And if you coin it out, there's really just no way to deal with it. It's going to deal 6 damage, at least, regardless of what you try to do.
Yeah, such a powerful card versus Rogue. I mean, this is actually kind of the centerpiece of the Pirate deck that we had built for NA Prelims, was we wanted to have strong game versus Rogue, and Fairy Dragon just really fit the bill. There wasn't really a strong way to answer it. And a lot of the Rogue builds had actually cut one of the deadly poisons from the build because you couldn't run Blade Flurry anymore.
Yeah.
And so Phone Tap, not willing to tank 9 damage from this Fairy Dragon, is just going to go face. And that could potentially yield more damage from that Fairy Dragon in the long run because he chose not to tank it.
Yeah.
Oh, it does draw SI7 Agent, though, so that'll shut that down. But just no action this turn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is dagger up. This is attack face, dagger, and pass. Unless he wants to deadly poison at this turn, but then he foregoes the ability to SI7 Agent. Maybe looking for a stronger way to get Edwin on board. I mean, does have a lot of options despite how actually kind of bad this particular board state is.
He does have to sort of think ahead here and think, well, what is my opponent's turn 3 play going to be? And a lot of times what that is Frothing Berserker. And by holding on to the deadly poison, it doesn't help him deal with Frothing Berserker any better. Like SI Agent just doesn't stand up against it. Woo! Oh, that's a great draw.
That is a hot draw. Hot off the presses.
Ooh, Dauge.
Now, the question here is Edwin or the SI7 Agent. And if he's going to Edwin, is there ever a chance that he uses Conceal prior to the Edwin to make a 6/6?
I feel like it's way too vulnerable to, like, Ravaging will execute. That's a lot of resources to use, especially since he already has Gadgetzan Auctioneer in his hand. I mean, can you take 3 at this point? You go down to 21, and your opponent has a Fireworks equipped. So SI7 Agent, while it deals with the Frothing Berserker, it just gets eaten up. Yeah. But Edwin Van Cleef, I mean, all he needs is 1 point of damage to eat it up, whether that's Blood for Ichor or a Ravaging Ghoul. So both feel pretty weak. So, I mean, Conceal to make it a 6/6 feels, kind of cute. It puts it out of range of a lot of things. It makes it 6/6 body, but is it really worth it, considering that's protecting that Gadgetzan later on in the game?
Now, what I'm looking at here is how his turns pan out. So if he goes backstab SI7 into this turn, next turn he's got Sap into Edwin Van Cleef. And then if he draws anything to do on turn 6 that affects the board, he's going to have Gadgetzan Conceal on turn 7. And so that is clearly the game plan with this set right here. Now, Core Crown Elite could potentially throw a wrench in that. I mean, sapping a Core Crown Elite's not the best feeling in the world.
Especially since he'll just come back and kill the Edwin or potentially just deal 4 damage again. So...
yeah, so that's like the one play he doesn't want to see.
I mean, we have to also think that there's still a deadly poison equipped, so maybe that plays into Terrence plays?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to.
All right, so he's going to play the Surfing the Murgleton to try and get this deadly poison out, and picks up Ping, and that's an automatic choice, with the other options being pretty poor. I think I saw Dagger Up and Heal. Is that what I saw?
I didn't quite catch the other two. I mean, he instantly picked the Fire Blast, which is
Yeah.
which is one of the ones he's looking for in this build.
Yeah. All
I
right.
wonder-
So.
I wonder if there's ever a consideration for using sap here. I don't think there is. I mean, you're looking to sap like Twilight Guardian. You're looking to sap Draconid Crusher.
Mhm.
A lot of the stuff you sap does give your opponent extra value in this one, but all you're trying to do is buy enough time to make use of what the sap did for you.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is the turn for it. I mean, Tomb Pillager to me felt like kind of the draw. And I think what he's considering is, does he ever use his dagger here to clear this Finley? Does he care that much? And the answer to Phone Tap, he's indecisive about it. I don't think it's going to matter that much. I mean, the damage on this isn't going to add too much more. He's going to go with it, though.
I think this is just to protect it from the Fireworks being able to trade in with the Sir Finley, because making him have to expend a ping in order to clear this off effectively means that he's only going to have 3 mana left to play a minion that he wants. And this deck is chock full of 4-drops around that curve. It's got Twilight Guardian, it's got Gorgon Elite, it's got Bloodhoof Brave a lot of the time. So that's what you're looking for a lot of the time around that 4-drop. So he just goes ahead and uses the Gorgon Elite.
This is a fantastic turn for Phone Tap. I mean, this is kind of illustrating the importance of Tomb Pillager in this deck as well. I mean, getting access to this a turn early is massive. Normally Terrence would have had something on the board here to at least apply some pressure when the Gadgetzan Auctioneer got dropped. Here, he's just playing a Twilight Guardian, potentially Alex Strauss's champion, going to face for some damage.
Yeah.
Then watching this Auctioneer just go nuts.
Yikes. I mean, he does have quite a bit of damage, so there might be a possibility for Terrence to just go with the aggressive route, but there's a good chance that his board is just going to be gone after this turn is over. I mean, just sap plus the deadly poison is enough to take it out, and then we're also looking at more board development, lots of card draw being put in, so...
Journey Below added the hand. I'm curious if that changes anything. To me, Sap Edwin is not that bad.
Yeah, that's true.
He knows that Twilight Guardian's in hand, though, so in order to push through, he might just decide to save that other Sap to ensure that he can get Leroy through at some point in this game.
I mean, if he saps again and then Edwin's, the Edwin will be a 6/6, and it'll match up quite nicely against the Twilight Guardian, but if that's saved for a turn where he can clear the board and then put it in front of a Leroy, like you mentioned, so he's going to go with Journey from Below, and most likely Dagger up plus the Deadly Poison. Picks up another Tomb Pillager.
I'm going to drop to 17 here. Oh, Cold Blood's a fantastic pickup off that. Anytime you can squeeze the Cold Blood damage in and draw a card from it, that's basically the time to do it.
Yeah. Bring him down to 20. Armor up's gone as well, so... And I guess Terrence M does have a way to proc the execute. Well, now he has Blood for Acre, but ping is a great way to do it anyway. He's going to execute and then drop the Twilight Guardian in its place. Try and get something powerful down on the board to contest what's ever going to come out of Phone Tap, because he did draw through quite a bit of stuff going into the last turn.
Yeah, so many options for Phone Tap at this point. I mean, just one Auctioneer turn gave him such a beautiful hand to find the damage to end this pretty soon.
So...
I mean, I don't even know if Sap is really the right play here. I mean, I'm looking like Backstab and Tank the Damage might be okay as well.
You can Backstab SI, Tank the Damage, and I play Tomb Pillager or Edwin Van Cleef. He would be going down to 14.
Yeah. Having just seen
Fireworks equipped.
Having just seen an Execute here, I think that Edwin is definitely on the menu right now. Like, it's probably the best card in his hand at the moment, as a parlay to the rest of the damage, just to get something on board for some action. I mean, Terrence has only got 3 cards left. He's going to go with Sap. It's going to be SI7 Agent to the Dome. Drop that Edwin Van Cleef and set up for lethal next turn.
Yeah, that's the big thing here, is making sure that you set up for lethal. And he doesn't set up for lethal should should the Twilight Guardian be replayed, but it's very close. Yeah, looks like we're just going to see a Rag here.
Yeah, but I like to play from Terrence here. I mean, he knows he has to take a risk at this point. If this Rag actually connects with Edwin, some chance to win from his perspective, but doesn't connect, and wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Yep.
Phone tap picked up by that Eviscerate. And so game number 3 is going over to Phone tap at this point. 2-1 lead for him.
2-1 lead with
feeling good.
Yeah, gotta be feeling good, and just the Hunter remaining. So this is one of my favorite decks in the current format. I feel like it's just good to watch. I don't know. This is one of those decks where it's just crisp. It's just like again, sort of like Zoo. The games are a little bit quicker. It's a lot about the board. You just curve out. You play strong minions, and minions that are fun. Call of the Wild is fun.